Hey guys, so it's me, Kiani. Today's video, I'm bringing you this smoky eye look. It's one of my most requested videos of the week. I've already given you guys a couple of different light eye options, bolder lip options, but I really wanted to get it back into my comfort zone of creating smoky eye looks for you guys, so I'm glad that you guys requested it. This look, I did use a lot of different matte shadows. Can you believe it? I love matte eyeshadows. I think they give you a lot of punch. I think that they actually don't really show if the eye is doing something quirky, if there's more of a fold, if the eye is kind of crepey. I think matte shadows will fit the bill for basically any time of day that you need to wear them. There are different levels in creating this smoky eye look, so I'm hoping you enjoy it. I also talked you through the video, so of course make sure you give it a thumbs up for more videos like this from me. Without further ado, let's get into this smoky eye tutorial. So let's get started. I'm going to grab my Ben Nye Media Pro palette. I'm going to dig right into some of this concealer and just pop it right on the eyelid. I just blend this out as smoothly as possible. Do the same on the other eye. I don't tend to put concealer all the way up all over the eyelid because I like the dimension and texture, so I normally just stick with it around the eyelid itself, and then of course I use a little bit of concealer underneath the brow bone to kind of anchor that. In the transition, I do stay away from using any eyeshadow primer or anything like that. I'm going to grab my Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette. You're going to hear me talk about this palette a lot because it has everything you need to create a beautiful smoky eye. I'm going to grab my favorite shade for my first transition shade called Custard and blend it back and forth. This shade really does look like a banana powder, so if that's all you have, great. If you're using the NYX palette, there's banana shade in there as well, and then the Anastacia Beverly Hills contour palette has a beautiful banana shade. It will work equally as well, but you'll see why I'm raving over this palette so much because all the shades I need are right here. I'm actually going to move into this tawny shade right next to the Custard using my same MAC 286 brush. I'm going to blend that right beneath that Custard shade and blend that back and forth. Again, creating a nice dimension of transition. Same thing on the other eye. You also notice that I do a lot of tapping off, and that really allows me to control the amount of product that I apply to the lid. Moving on over to the shade called Burlap. Now we're moving down into the main transition area and blending that back and forth, moving it from the exterior end all the way to the internal V. Push, push, push. You're almost starting your contour area. Tap, tap, tap. Same thing on the other side. Moving into the shade right here called Melon. I'm going to cup that on the exterior V and push that into the transition. Can you see how I'm doing that? And just blending it back and forth. I do this for a couple reasons because it really allows me to mark my parameter. And also, if I'm trying to decide on what colors I really want to use, this starts to deepen the shade up so I can really see how that lid is acting on that day. Not every day is the lid going to be nice and act proper for a nice smoky eye, so you know what? I take to that very, very kindly and I just blend until I can see what I want to do. So this is great for those of you that are indecisive on what shades you want to work with. But you know what, just for the sake of, I haven't played with any of these shades down here. I haven't played with this purple, I haven't played with this lavender, so I think I'm actually going to drop into this area here, and I'm going to push into this purple just to see how it comes out. But remember, I've already anchored a little bit of my transition shade, mainly that melon shade right here on the external V, so the purple is not going to be as dominant as it would be had I gone onto it with a naked set of shadow. And I'm just going to push that. So when you're doing the smoky eye, don't be afraid. You just need to make sure you take the time so you can actually blend it out. And I'm now going to go in and really, really intensify that. And I've been using that same MAC 286 brush. It's just really, really nice, especially when you're trying to put powder inside of cream. It really diffuses those colors and it keeps it from flicking all over the place and creating a lot of fallout. But now I'm actually ready to build my color. I'm actually going to go into my Sigma E25 brush. This is a beautiful brush. It really does remind me of my MAC 217 brush. So if you don't have the Sigma brush, MAC does have the brush that you would need. And again, I'm working with this purple shade right here. I'm going to just blend that out. Now I'm starting to push it into my internal V. You can see how I'm blending. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Another thing when you're doing the smoky, it's not all about putting a lot of product on at one time. The beauty of it is in the blend. So taking the time to be able to spiral that brush out and really allow those colors to be multi-dimensional, you're going to get a lot of payoff. And then if you continue to blend in the process of it's going to come out better. Can you see how that's already turned into a smoky? Let's move into this shade right here called Cabernet. It's really one of the more rich, intense colors. And again, still packing it on in the internal V and blending. Blending. And you see, for this smoky eye, I am keeping the lid itself very, very open. This is a technique that I really like to use, especially when a client has smaller eyes. So those of you girls that say, oh, I can't wear smoky eyes, they make my eyes look too small. This is a step that I think you guys would like. Keep your halo, so to speak, around the eyelid itself, not necessarily putting all the color on the lid. Keeping that lid open, you can actually put a little flash of highlight, you can put a little flash of shimmer, or for those of you girls that want to get really, really adventuresome, if you want to pop a little bit of glitter, that would be the place to do that. And I'm definitely, you can see that I'm playing my mattes. I have not pulled one sparkle or starting to create the smoke. For this sake, I'm actually going to use this shade right here called Goji, and I'm going to use my middle birdie finger, and I'm going to just pat that color right in the middle and pushing it all the way up into that transition, but really, really packing it just by tapping it. This is doing this technique called stippling. Just continue to pack that. Can you see how you have a nice gradual effect going on? So I've covered up the lid, I've given it some color, given it a little bit of dimension, and it's really, really holding on well, because remember we put that concealer down at the first step. With the smoky eye, it never ends how it begins, but you have to start right to get it right. So just keep that in mind. Pop, 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 pop. Continue to pat that in, pat, 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 pat. Now, I'm going to sit all that down for now, and just for the sake of, I'm going to grab my NYX. This is the jumbo pencil in the shade Milk, and I'm going to pop a little bit just on that lower lash line. Another great technique that I've started to do a lot, because it really does keep my eyes from looking too closed. I'm going to go in now with a Makeup Forever. This is a professional brush. It's a 218. It's called a wavy. It also looks like a pencil brush, so if you have one of those, it's great. I'm going right back into that shade called Goji, which is this middle shade right here, and I'm going to smoke that out underneath the lower lash line. I'm not going on the inside, because remember we've already added that milk color. We really want to allow the eye to stay open, but at the same time, you need to continue your color going around the eye to create the smoke. And all you're really doing is diffusing this color as you push back and forth. Okay? Next, if I want to go into this Cabernet shade, it would be a great time to do it, tapping that brush off, same brush, and continue to smoke that out. By using the first shade, Goji, I'm really applying a transition shade for the lower lash line as I push back and forth. It keeps this Cabernet shade from being too intense and allows me to gradually build. Again, when you're doing the smoky eye, everything is a flash of color. It's smoky, it's diffused. The beauty of it is in the blend. And as you can see, I'm blending back and forth. I'm going to move into the shade right here called Sorbet. Again, it's another taupey pink shade. It's a matte, of course, and I'm going to go right on the top part of this transition area that I started out with, possibly with about my second color, and I'm going to stroke that out along the exterior V and pushing it all the way underneath. And what I'm doing is haloing the eye. Can you see what's happening? I'm just blending out. I haven't gone back in with a dark shade. There's no need to. I've already done that. There's no need for me to want to go in and disrupt the shades that I've already put down. I'm just blending them out to make sure the blend is nice. Taking it from the internal transition area, back around the exterior V, underneath where the smoke would normally be, and back into the middle, okay? By using the different hues and color, it really does make your smoky eyes look better, a little bit more wearable, so you're not just looking like you have a punch blue eye or a punch purple eye or black eye. It's just really allowing those colors to be diffused the way they should be to show the beauty of the smoky. Because you girls know I love a good wing. There's no smoky eye that's complete for me without doing one, so I'm going to do that real quick. Now that I've done my wing, I'm actually going to go right back into this shade right here, that purple shade, and I'm going to pop a little bit of the Goji on top, just mixing those two, tapping off, and I'm going to go into this exterior V area and just really, really allow the exterior area to be dominated by that plum shade. I'm really liking how that's coming together, so I really want to intensify it just a little bit. And don't be afraid to go back in and add more color, guys. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's part of the creative process. I'm gonna go back into this Goji and Cabernet. and really bang that smoky eye. Can you see how having that white on the inner waterline still keeps that eye from looking too tight? I can actually do it with a black liner. I can actually do it with other pops of color, but I think the white is starting to become my comfort zone. I'm going to customize some lashes right now. I'm going to use my number 43s and I'm going to stack those on top of my 113. Alrighty. Looking good. This one I'm going to grab this is a medium sweeper brush. It's my E54, my Sigma. And I just want to intensify that lower lash line just a little bit. So I'm going to pop into this shade right here called Black and really intensify that. You see what this happened? I did kind of mix this brush with a little bit of e.l.f. setting spray. See, I can stand for it to be a little bit more smoky now. And I'm just playing with the exterior V of the lashes. And like I said, don't be afraid to go back in and reassess the situation. If you think your eyes can take it a little bit more, take it. You know, if it's a little bit early in the day, I probably would refrain from this last step. And then if I wanted to go right back on top, I would really play up this because I've already laid that purple down and it's really taking the show. But I really want to over accelerate this exterior V. And I'm just really allowing this brush to set into this eye area right here and allowing my eyeball to guide where that brush should go. And you see how that just opened it up a little bit more? Same thing. And by wetting that brush, it keeps that black from flicking all over the place, and you're just really popping that color in, but you're pushing it. I mean, all these shades are mattes, you guys, and I can still see the beauty and the richness of the colors. Can you see how that just completely came together? I'm gonna get to my contour. I'm using my Morphe bronzing palette. It's the 9BZ. Bronze it up, girls. Bronze it up. My same powder brush. I'm gonna grab this shade right here and a little bit of this pink. This is the V palette. You can see all those beautiful blushes. I'm just gonna pop that right on the apples of my cheek. Now when you're doing a smoky eye, you need to make sure that you put some color on those cheeks because otherwise that's kind of what makes you look ghostly. And although it's kind of, you know, the holiday season and Halloween and all those things, blush still makes us feel a little bit more alive. So I can see how I can kind of create the balance I need. I'm going to grab my e.l.f. setting spray. And kind of start just dampening my foundation just a little bit. I'm going to grab my Morphe brush and my Anastacia Peach Nectar and pop that right on that cheek area. A little bit of a dampened foundation now so I can really whisk this highlight in without it streaking. I'm going to grab my Tawny. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Tawny Lip Pencil. I love this Tawny Lip Pencil all by itself. Can you see that? And these lip liners last a long time. For the sake of, I'm going to use my Spike Toffee. This is an Estee Lauder Pure Color lipstick. And there you have the finalized look. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to follow me on Instagram at love_Kiani to receive daily beauty tips. If you have not subscribed to my channel, click the link in the down bar. It's free. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, hugs and kisses. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.